And we are back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. This is the #1 talk of business show in the entire state of North Carolina. Evidence of that is go to my sexy new YouTube channel, if you would please, and subscribe. We have well over 400 videos and a bunch of information that we will inspire, inform, and entertain you. Joe Vagnone, business broker. We would appreciate if you do that. Plus, we've been doing this for over 10 years. I am now officially an expert, and I have always had experts with me as co-hosts. Today is no exception. This month is no exception. Carolyn Brand, the Carolyn Brand Group, HR Reimagined. Carolyn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Speaking of another expert, and I adore her because she keeps reinventing herself. I've noticed that. Adrienne Craighead, founder of TorchBearer. So, okay, fill me in, Adrienne. What is TorchBearer all about?
I appreciate the invitation to share you a little bit more. So TorchBearer Tachyon opened in Cornelius, North Carolina 2 months ago. It was August the 8th. September, October, nope, 3 months ago now. September. And what is it? Okay, so a tachyon chamber is a unique experience for an individual to come and book 45 minutes, an hour, even an hour and 15 minutes to sit in a blissed out Zen meditative state in the presence of tachyons. So what are tachyons? Because we've heard that word on Star Trek. It's a unique word, but it's an actual particle.
I was getting ready to tell you it sounded like it's one of my favorite shows of all time. You understand?
Mine as well.
I was getting ready to tell you, I thought I'd heard that before.
So they were theoretical particles when Albert Einstein talked about them, and they have been proven to be real. Tachyons are subatomic particles. They travel faster than the speed of light. You guys might have noticed 2-3 weeks ago in October, they announced who won the Nobel Prize for Physics. The physicists that just won the Nobel Prize for Physics were able to prove this quantum entanglement theory. What does that mean? When particles share space, like proximity, like right now, I'm hanging out with Carolyn, hanging out with Joe and Isaiah, my actual particles in my body will be changed, even if I leave here 10...
I knew Friday mornings Isaiah was messing me up somehow.
What's in this coffee?
Exactly. But quantum entanglement is proven now.
I'm going home every Friday with some Isaiah. Okay,
You're starting to look like him too.
Love it, love it. I want to see the beard growing out, Joe. But what we do know is that you've always felt different when you're in the presence of someone. And then during COVID, we did all the Zooms. Why didn't that fit? Why didn't that scratch the itch? Well, we're virtually looking at them and I'm hearing them, but I'm not in the room with them. And we had a hunch there was something to the energy of a person sitting right next to Carolyn here is definitely different than doing a Zoom call with her. So the quantum principle and the quantum entanglement principle, now that that's proven, we believe the unified field theory will be just the next on the line. It's that principle we're all connected.
Whoa, you got to slow this down. Because you making me think I may not want to be in the room with somebody. I might need to quantumize their items before I let them in the room.
Teleport to a better, higher vibration studio.
So if that means anybody I'm around, can you tell me how close I got to be to not get some of Pat's quantum physics on me? I'm going to go home looking like Isaiah and smelling like Pat. That could be a problem.
Hey, Joe, you know what I think? You need to check your particles at the door.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
Carolyn, you're right. We're going to need a whole Okay. I'm sorry. We're making fun of your process. I'm sorry.
No.
Isaiah, I want you to go to her website.
It's called TorchBearer Tachyon.
It really is a room.
It's a room.
Yeah. Okay.
Imagine a room with a lazy boy chair in the middle of it. And around you, in the very specific and what they call sacred geometry pattern, is 6 different crystal orbs. And these are about 8 to 12 inch, crystal orbs that sit around you. There's a pyramid overhead.
I mean, that looks like my living room. I'm with the recliner.
And so there's lights, there's chromotherapy going on, there's smells, so there's, aromatherapy going on. You are in your meditative state, and we say don't make your mind blank, be open to what messages will come through to you from the universe. So if you're in a prayer life and you get answers, this is your dream come true, because this is a spot I invite you to come and continue your prayer life, your spiritual journey right here at TorchBearer Tachyon. It was a blessing for me when I found it several years ago up in Waynesboro, Virginia, and it's my gift to the community. We are only open a few hours every week until we build up awareness and an appetite, and we believe community members will love this so much they'll come back on a weekly basis, just like you see your chiropractor or your massage therapist, like that.
I'm confused. Now, surprise. So all day long, I'm getting a bunch of Pat and Isaiah and Carolyn on me, right? So when I go in that room, am I getting them off me? Like, I'm missing what I'm doing in the room. Help me with. I get the recliner, and if you give me a pizza and a football game, I'll be in heaven. But
so here's the principle.
Okay.
Many years ago, when tachyons were first discovered and the impact that they had on human beings, it was hard to prove to other scientists, why is this tachyon infusion into Adrienne improving her life, spiritually life, her physical, her mental processes? How are tachyons helping her body just elevate, or what I would say, level up processes? And so the first guy to ever get a patent to show that something had been tachyonized versus something had not, he did it with salt water. He said, here's a glass of salt water that's been tachyonized, and here's one that has not. I'm going to evaporate the water and look at what happens to the salt crystals left on my slide. The one that had been tachyonized, the salt crystals lined up in beautiful geometric patterns, and the one that had not, it was just random, and it was chaos. So imagine that principle.
Whoa. That's my brain, and that's Pat's brain. Okay, I see. I got it.
Glad we got that figured out.
So we know in nature, if we don't if we don't touch nature, this principle called entropy comes into play, and entropy is just descending into chaos. And it's just like weeds take over your yard, and trees grow randomly and stuff. But if we are intentional about curating our garden and trimming it up, it can be beautiful. And we call it syntropy. SYNTROPY. So syntropy is the effect of tachyons on the human body, on animals, on plants. Any living cell experiences syntropy with tachyon.
So I think what Joe's wondering about is, you've got these, I don't want to call them plates, pardon me for maybe not having the right words, but is it reflecting back while you're sitting in the chair? What's the actual practical method that's
Because it looks like three big glass. Are they balls or plates?
They're crystal balls, and there's three of them behind the chair as well.
Oh, so you're surrounded
by crystal balls. You are surrounded, and they are amplifying what's coming down overhead. The pyramid itself is generating the tachyons that you're being showered with.
Wow.
Am I gonna feel something when I sit in that chair?
You're gonna slip into the fifth dimension.
It's called sleep.
I'm going to Vista Menta in about 20 minutes. Vista Menta. Did I say that right?
It's a magical experience, and you will slip into the fifth dimension.
Okay, so if somebody wants to be Vista Menta, how can they do it, and where is this at again?
Sure. This is in Cornelius, North Carolina. It's in Old Town Cornelius, and the address is 2200 Zion Avenue. A perfect landmark would be, if you've ever been to Barley Market, you are just a 1-block walk away from TorchBearer Tachyon. So we would love for people to learn more about tachyons. Google tachyons, the U.S. Air Force. Isaiah. The U.S. Air Force has done lots of research with tachyons, because now that we have Space Force, one of our branches of service, they are looking at ways to amplify the Space Force, lieutenants. How can we amplify their performance, better mental acuity, stronger physical, more flexible, more resilient, and so they use tachyons in their training modules for Space Force.
Okay, so this reminds me of some other industries at the very beginning stages. Right. The road you have is long and hard, because people like Joe are going to make fun of the chair, right?
Understood.
You know what I mean? So what is your plan to continue to educate people on this? Because I've seen this many times before, right?
Right.
We laugh at you,
Right.
Right, and then all of a sudden it becomes mainstream.
Yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? So have you thought through that? Because this is a long road to getting to where this is an accepted, or I should say, understanded process.
Yes.
Understood. Well, remember when 10 years ago nobody knew what CBD was?
Yes.
And now you look in every corner of every strip mall and there's a CBD store. The people that were willing to try CBD for whatever it was, a sports injury or anxiety, they found enough personal proof that they didn't need all the research science to be, presented to them. And they just, because anecdotally it worked for them, they were willing to go back again and again. That is what's going to happen with this kind of experience. There are other ways to have these types of experiences through meditation, through hypnosis, through Reiki, which is energy healing. You don't actually touch the person with Reiki healing. So my model is to get people who already believe in energy healing and know it to be effective, and have them experience it so that every massage therapist in our community, every Reiki healer, every hypnotist or meditation coach has their experience inside the tachyon chamber and then says, aha, I know where to send my clients now to help them reach theta brainwaves, feel this alignment, and be able to we want to optimize the human experience. So
How long
Wow.
do you think somebody should stay in there?
45 minutes is the perfect starting session. 45 minutes is perfect. And so what we want for people to do is just be open to trying it. If you've never been to a chiropractor, imagine that first time and that second and that third adjustment. And then you started to realize this is part of my good overall health. I'm sleeping better. I'm feeling peppier through the day. I'm thinking more clearly. I can focus better. All those things start to become a part of your experience when you have sustained and regular tachyon visits.
So, Isaiah, pull this up on the Facebook so people can see where this is. I want them to see the chair and the comfortness,
I'm ready.
because it does look comfortable.
Let's go.
Oh, Joe, you got to try this.
It does look comfortable. I don't mind telling you.
Yes.
I'm going to fall. What is it I'm going to do? I'm not really falling asleep. I'm doing what again?
You are meditating for 45 minutes, but if you fall asleep, that's truly what your body needed.
Going into the fifth dimension with your particles.
Your particles are in check.
I might lose some particles. I fall asleep
Exactly.
too
I think
much.
you are already.
So, putting this together, what advice would you give somebody thinking about starting a new business, especially a new concept?
Yes.
What advice would you give somebody?
I always say one of the first things I want a new business owner to think about is building a business that's B2B versus B2C. So, right, Adrienne, you've built a business that customers come and visit you. But my marketing strategy should be B2B. Adrienne's strategy is to interest and attract Reiki healers, massage. So, therefore, you have built a community of people who will be your referral agents.
Right.
So as opposed to Adrienne finding a Susan and a Tim and a John, now they visited and that's great, but I want a Susan who's a Reiki healer and a John who's a
Got it.
massage therapist.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Carolyn Brand, the Carolyn Brand Group, HR Reimagined. Thank you. If it's Friday morning, your business matters.